Whitetail, Fundamentals and Fine Points for the Hunter. Written by George Mattis, illustrated by William Ruswig. It was copyrighted in 1969. To the hunter whose heart hungers for the sight of a bounding buck, the first snowfall to cover the sere woodland floor, or the somberness of a November woods, I dedicate this book. Here's the table of contents. It looks like it's 259 pages long. Here's a sampling of some of the chapters. Got the still hunter. You got the small hunting group. You got trail watching, snow tracking, lucky breaks. That's what we all need, some lucky breaks. After your deer is down, buck fever. We've all had buck fever. The buck, the rut, deer guns and sights, clothing and personal equipment, and the future. Got some beautiful illustrations in here. Here's one, it's got a little inscription next to it. The hunter will follow the tracks with his eyes on their furthest point within his range of vision. This point is his goal, and his eyes are free to search about as he slowly moves ahead. Here's another nice illustration, big buck here. A hunter following a set of tracks may unknowingly be observed by his quarry, since an experienced buck has a habit of circling back and bedding down on an elevation overlooking his trail. There's the buck, and there's the hunter walking past him. Here we've got another sample here from the book. This would be chapter 14, Buck Fever. I'll read a little bit from it. Buck fever comes in about as many different guises as there are men who succumb to this strange derangement of hunting behavior in all its forms, from simple loss of good judgment, which is buck fever in its milder phase, to helpless confusion and utter loss of composure. The malady is still buck fever. This is an interesting chapter, chapter 22. This is what the author thought the future of deer hunting would be. And this is, you got to remember, this was written 50-some years ago. So I'll read a little bit here. We are favored with a good whitetail population today, with perhaps more of these big game animals than at any other time in the past. There is, however, one harsh fact we must bear in mind. The carrying range of our deer is pretty well utilized, and we can, at best, expect no increase in the animal's population, yet our hunting forces increase yearly, and whether we like to believe it or not, hunting pressure of today is the big controlling factor in our whitetail population. So back then, he felt that the carrying capacity of the deer herd was about at its max, and that we actually had more hunters, and they were going to increase in numbers over the years. Interestingly, the number of hunters has decreased, so he was off on that prediction. So there you have it. Whitetail book written back in 50-some years ago. Kind of an interesting read. Lots of information in there. Some of it still applicable today. Some of his predictions are off a little bit, but very interesting reading. So there you have it. Some great illustrations in there. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. Till next time.